Hey guys, it's good to see you again. I'm back. So I wanted to tell you about this adventure that we went on. We actually went to Chicago a little while ago, and it was totally awesome. So we live in Arizona, so it's like totally brown, but there, I didn't even know that the color green existed in anything but a fairy tale, but it does in Chicago. So John has family there, so we decided that we would go visit them. And we ended up spending like 3 days in Chicago, and they have this really awesome program where you can get these passes to where you can see attractions for a discount. They have two different options you can do. There's the city pass and then Go Chicago. One of them, it's only a handful of options, but you can see those attractions for like a period of multiple days. But we opted for the one where we only had 3 days and we could hit as many things as we wanted. So that's what we did. And let me tell you, it was exhausting. I mean, it was awesome, but we took our toddler with us, which was so stressful. Oh my gosh, let me tell you about flying. Flying with a toddler is so nerve-wracking. I was going through security, and the security person pulled me aside and they were like, "Is everything okay, ma'am?" And I just want to be like, "Yeah, I'm just about to fly with a toddler. It's very stressful." So obviously my face looked like, I don't know. Obviously I have a very threatening countenance. As you can see, I'm very fierce. I'm 5'2" tall, which means that these contents are under pressure, which just adds to my brutal ferocity that you can see upon my countenance. Anyway, so we finally get on the plane, and this happened 2 times to us. So Calvin rode in our laps because you can fly for free. Well, they can fly for free if they're, I think, ages 2 and under. Not really sure, I can't remember. Calvin's like a little older than 1. So we had him as a lap baby, which, trying to keep a tiny human who is too young to be reasoned with but old enough to be dangerous was so stressful. And this business guy sat down next to us, so it's this business guy in like the window seat, which is, you know, the desirable seat, and then it's me, and then it's John. And seriously, like, I don't know what it is, but like this business guy was just acting like he'd never seen a kid before. And like, people get so uptight. They're like, "Oh, I spent several $100s on this airplane ticket." And it's just like, dude, like, you're riding an Airbus. That's what it is. This is public transportation. Like, if you don't want to be bothered by miniature human beings, like, I'll get a private jet. So I know that tickets are expensive, but it is public transportation. So, I mean, I'm just saying, it's an Airbus. Get over yourself. But Calvin screamed for like the first 30 minutes. And I thought I was gonna die. Cause like, there's nowhere to go. Like, normally, so I have social anxiety, so normally I like hide. But you're trapped like thousands of feet in the air, or maybe it's hundreds, I don't really know. Anyways, you're in the air, there's nowhere to go. And like, these seats are so cramped, and like, everyone is touching each other. Oh my gosh, it was a total nightmare. But we survived, and we got to Chicago, and then that first night we just like hung out with family. So anyways, when we went to the museum, well, let me backtrack. We were able to go to a few fun different places. One of the number one things that we recommend is taking the architecture tour that they have, where you basically take like a small river boat through the city, and they talk about the buildings, and the history is actually really interesting, and it's a great way to see like a large portion of the city without having to walk. We'll walk as far because you'll get tired, especially if you are having children in tow. So anyways, I thought it was really wonderful, and we went at dusk, so it was like the absolute best time to go. It was very romantic, it was very beautiful, and there's so many interesting facts. Definitely by far, it was one of our favorites. We also went to the Shed Aquarium, which was incredible. They have a lot of animal life diversity. I know that there is a lot of, back and forth on whether or not we should have aquariums, but I personally enjoy them. I think that they are a great means by which we can open up discussion on education of biology, environmental science, all of those wonderful things. So I think that they do have a place in our society. But aside from that, my spirit animal resides there, which is the beluga whale. They're fluffy. They have these big awkward smiles. They're just awkward in general. Beluga is my spirit animal without a doubt. I love them so much. They are awesome. Oh, and they're super white, and I'm super pasty. I'm like basically Wonder Bread status. Anyways, I love them. They're fantastic. And we also got to go see the Field Museum. One of the cool things about the Field Museum is that they had on loan a few of the Terracotta Army warriors. So that was really interesting to see. And they have some really great exhibits on ancient Egypt. And it's one of the largest museums in the Western Hemisphere, I believe is what I was told. Don't quote me. I'm a secondary source. It could be hearsay. I don't know. All I know is that it was way awesome, and you should definitely go. We also went to the Sky Deck and did Chicago 360. We did do tilt. I didn't fully enjoy it, just because so you're tilting forward to look out and see Chicago, right? And you're holding onto these bars, and they're tilting you, and then you think it's gonna stop, but you keep going. And at this point, I'm pushing myself back up. So I was basically doing a workout, which is great. I mean, I need it, but I was not expecting it to be that terrifying. But I actually really like the Sky Deck. It's the same company that does the Sky Bridge that's over the Grand Canyon. So it was way neat. It was also a little surreal and kind of scary to look down and you see this, people, cars look like ants. And that's in the Sears Tower, which is now called the Willis Tower, I believe. So I actually think I preferred that to Chicago 360. The view is spectacular. It was way incredible. Also, I took some video. One thing you don't even think about of these incredibly large, giant skyscrapers, spiders. The entire outside of the windows, they were infested. It was the most disgusting thing. It was my worst nightmare. It was absolutely horrible. I was just on one window alone, there was 50 spiders. And you're dozens of floors up. You're how do they even get here? It was absolutely nasty. So gross. But, we also saw the Museum of Science and Industry, and that was really fascinating. My favorite was the genetics portion. So I was pre-med, and for a long time I was studying genetics before I ended up doing whatever it is that I'm doing with my life, which is nothing. I don't know what I'm doing. But anyways, that's beside the point. But it was a way cool trip. So Chicago actually has a lot to see. I was really surprised. Yeah. So if you have any questions on Chicago, I'm not really an expert, but I do know how to have a good time. So I might be able to point you in some directions. Also, if you're there, you have to try the Chicago style pizza. John didn't really like it. He said it tasted like lasagna. Well, it's not that he didn't like it. It's just that he didn't like the fact that his pizza was masquerading around as a lasagna. He's just weird. I personally super liked it, but I mean, obviously, look at me. I love carbs. Trying to think about if there's anything that I missed. Chicago is so beautiful, and there's so many things that I really wanted to see that we just didn't have time, like the planetarium, the zoo, all these incredible things. I could have easily spent a week there. And so we were walking. Oh my gosh, and of course we saw the bean. Obviously, the silver bean of Chicago is I don't know, it's it's like a monument that we all associate with Chicago. It's actually way cooler in person. And you would kind of think it'd be anticlimactic because you're like, it's a giant silver bean. But it was way cool. It was way cool. So if you go to Chicago, definitely go to the park and go see that because it was like one of my favorite things. Actually, all the things were like my favorite thing. It was so much fun. But having like a toddler in tow definitely changes the dynamics of how you're traveling. So anyways, that's all I've got to say on that. So we're here at 360 Chicago, and the view is beautiful. But what is that? Look at that. This whole window is like infested with spiders. So gross.
Yeah, you see those spiders?
I do see those spiders. It's like my worst nightmare. I'm really glad they're on the other side of the glass. Calvin, what do you think of Chicago? He is not that pleased, is he?
I'm gonna take him out.
What do you guys think about Chicago? Yeah, that good?
Yeah, that good.
It is beautiful. Okay. All right. Well, I hope that you liked my dumb travel vlog. Yes, I hope that you liked it. Coming up next will be my thoughts on cardio. And you're going to want to stick around for that because I have some pretty good thoughts. Because I'm a genius. I'm a prodigy. In case you didn't know. Anyways, yeah, like my channel. Subscribe. Tell me how funny I am. And well-traveled. I'm a traveler now. Kylie the Traveler. Yeah, true story. All right. Well, I will see you guys later.